Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before I do start, let me just say something. If you guys hear fireworks in the background, it's the 4th of July. So there's that. Yeah. Anyways, now, it might get a little loud, it may not. I don't really know. I can control that. Who gives a fuck? It's the 4th. People are blowing shit up. Anyways, now, with that being said, let's begin. We'll start with Izuku Midoriya. In the last part, a number of events have happened. However, mainly New York City was quiet, and Deku and Cindy took the day off. Or the rest of it. No supervillains, no criminals, no petty thieves, no anything. And that says quite a bit. A very rare day in New York City. Now, Deku, him, and Cindy, well, they did that. They alerted Jessica and Anya so they can take the night off and get some proper rest. Now, Thor visited Deku after his spider sense went off, after it seemingly reacted to nothing. And Thor, he made things quite clear. Tony the Stark wants Deku to be an Avenger. And Deku, when he talked to Tony Stark, there was only one real incentive, if not thing Deku needed to be an Avenger. He had to give back the arc reactor he took during Civil War. Over, oh god, almost 2 years ago now, actually. Now, with that being said, Deku, he did quite a lot in that time. He studied the arc reactor, and he even tried to take notes on it. And that thing is pretty damn powerful. And Deku, him and Cindy, they went on the night shift. After they watched some movies, enjoyed some junk food, and even fell asleep together on the couch. Now, with that being said, we do actually have over with Doc Ock, not Norman Osborn. I don't know why I was going to say Norman Osborn. Now, Doc Ock, he has been up to quite a number of things. He has been trying to find a solution to the clone's cell death. So far, a clone has made it past the 1 year mark, and that is actually quite impressive. Usually the clones break down 3 weeks to about a month after they are initially created. That's where they start the process. And cell death, it can happen fast. Spider-Man's healing factor has kept him going this far. The body is constantly fighting it. It's very similarly, if not exactly similar, to the way Wolverine's body fights off the metal poisoning of adamantium, because his healing factor is just that good. Now, that's exactly the best way to put it. And right now, while Doc Ock was trying to find a solution, he had one. He has a small little company that's gotten off the ground, and he decided to take some funds from it to hire a few people. Right now, though, while he's hired some people, he's gotten others to join on a better incentive. Revenge, a vendetta, or just because they can. And that definitely does say quite a bit. Now, right now, Deku, he does have a lot going on. However, him right now, he doesn't sit in the office of the Daily Bugle. He's waiting. Last night was definitely something, and he's really tired. Though, he can't miss this meeting with Jameson. It's gonna be interesting, though. Actually talking about some stuff with him, and maybe even actually getting a job here. But what would he even do? I mean, he's a scientist, not a photographer. And that right now is on Deku's mind. As Deku does go to look up, his spider sense going off again. And Deku, the one his head does get a jolt up, he just won't look around. He might be more surprised. Again. That happened last night too. Huh. Shit. Okay, so... No, there is danger nearby. He knows it. Okay. He's got to keep an awareness on that. Keep an eye on that. That's 3 now. Felicia set it off last night. And that wasn't a false alarm. She was just trying to trick him. Okay, so what is he reacting to? Him looking around. And right now, Deku, he actually does go to turn his head. When the door is going to open, and Deku does see Ochako walk out. And right now, Jameson, he actually going to bring his hand up, grabbing onto the door frame, and putting his head out. expressing, Midoriya. He wants to talk to him now. And Deku is going to stand up. Him at least going to greet Ochako, as Ochako is going to bring her hand up. Her at least going to give a wave to Deku, as he's going to walk into the office with a coffee in hand. And right now he does sit down. Yes, Mr. Jameson? I wanted to talk to you. About a proper job. Really? Yeah. Listen, it's gonna be a bit weird and strange, but hey, you don't have to come into the office, and we'll just send you a paycheck in the mail. That's about it. We just want you to go over a few things and, well, explain them to us. You know, not all of us are as nerdy, I guess is the best word. Sciency, all that terminology. Let's just throw it out of the window. None of us are as smart enough to explain it to ourselves. So we want the brainiac in the room to explain it to us. Okay, Mr. Jameson, what do you need? You see, I like that, Midoriya. You continue on and you don't ask questions. Now, what I want from you is very, very simple. I want an explanation. You're smart, and I feel like you can at least solve this problem for me. What problem? Why the Avengers didn't arrest Spider-Man. You really called me here just for that? No, I didn't. Listen, Osborn, the corporation, they're going to debut a ton of things at a science expo. And we want more explanations on that. Tons of corporations are coming together, and they're trying to basically wave their dicks at each other and say who is better at technology. That is quite the mental image, Mr. Jameson. I'm not wrong. Technically, no. Which is the best kind of technically. Of whatever you say. Now, listen, a few things are going to happen there, and I know for a fact you can explain it. And the best way of saying it, dumb it down for us to a point where we can understand it. Talk about certain tech and things that you think we'd be interested in reviewing for the news. Alright? When a Spider-Man happens to pop up, that's not my department. Right. Take Ochako with you. Ochako? Yes. In fact, you're attending some sort of university class for Mr. Osborn, right? Sort of. I have a scholarship. Are you done with it? Not yet. Why? You know that Mr. Osborn has a daughter. He has a daughter? Technically, yes. It's a lot to explain. He has a son, and he has a daughter. Both the two are going to be at the expo, and if you can, get Ochako to rub shoulders with them. At least try to get a bit more of a relationship started with them. See if they could help us out. I mean, having insider information would be helpful. And, I feel like I shouldn't explain to you anything else. No, it just about sums it up. Go to the expo, cover it, dumb it down, take Ochako with you, or take Ochako with me, and then try and brown nose? That's about right, yes. Okay, that's a bit hard, but I'll try. Now, Deku, he actually has to stand up. And right now, he doesn't leave. The Science Expo is going to be at... wow. Today at... Oh, crap. It's going to start... crap. I'm going to actually run out of the room. And Jameson, he has to watch Deku leave. I'm actually going to look down at his watch. They're going to be late. Now, Jameson, he does get someone to sit back down. And going to turn. Him going to look at one of the photos on his desk. As you do currently have Deku. Deku, him, and Ochako, the moment he ran out of the office, he turned and grabbed her by her hand. Hurley's telling her, they're going to be late and they need to hurry now. As they ran outside of the Daily Bugle, Deku waving down a cab, and the two climbing in. As Deku at least expressed to the man, he's got $50. Get them to the expo right now, and he has all of it. And the man turned his head, looking at Deku, grabbing the bill, and going to turn. Him going to put the car into drive, as there is where Deku, he actually got flung into the back seat. And this actually set off his spider sense. Now, Deku, the man started to haul ass down the road, and he did what he could to avoid traffic. However, eventually he ran into it. And Deku, yeah, the moment the two got caught in heavy traffic, they had to get out and walk, and the man got to keep the 50. Lucky him. Now, Deku, he was a bit more annoyed by that. If he knew that it was going to be, well, this crowded, he would have at least tried to run, maybe. Okay, but okay, he got him almost there all the way. And the two, they currently went walking down the street. And Ochako, she was trying to keep up. Deku was moving through a crowd, and he was definitely moving fast, determined. It's a bit strange to see him like this. And the two, they eventually got to the expo, and they were let in because of their press passes. Now, Deku, he was definitely intrigued, and right now there was where he actually opened up a notebook and started to at least write a few things down. And Ochako actually was looking around. A ton of tech that's so weird and hard to understand. It's so interesting, intriguing, weird. Weird is definitely a word for it. And right now, Deku, he started to write out a few things. And that actually was Ochako. Ochako, she walked up, and she at least tried to ask about a few things that they were watching, seeing. Experimental tech, things that could be given military applications, or medical applications. And that definitely said quite a bit. Deku, the moment he started to cover medical stuff, it was where Ochako, she saw the way Deku reacted to it. He was impressed, he was intrigued, but he wasn't in awe. I mean, something about the way his expression is on his face. It isn't excitement, it's a bit more of boredom. I mean, how can he be bored at an expose like this? This place is insane. It's crazy. All the tech here is insane. But Deku, he looked over at the tech. Some of it was definitely intriguing, and some of it was definitely weird. Some of it was definitely, well, futuristic. But others, they looked to fall flat. Especially whenever Hammer Industries, they were trying to show off robots. And some of them looked to be funky, in the best way of saying it. They didn't look right. The way they were moving was a bit more robotic, and you can tell that they were actually having trouble. There was even where the expose, it broke down, and the entire set in front of them, it malfunctioned. It stopped working almost immediately. And Deku, he actually pointed out a few things. Servos could be shot, or it could just be the wiring wasn't put in properly. That's what they get for making cheap-ass robots. And Deku even put that on his notes. He put down that Hammer Industries, they seem to cheap out on their goods. However, they try and maximize profits. And that definitely could be a headline right there, because it could be a safety concern. Now, Deku, he at least highlighted that part. And there actually was where his spider sense would go off. Him gonna look up and turn his head. Him looking around. As right now someone is gonna bring their hands up and tap onto his shoulder. Deku turning and seeing a man. Oh, hi. Hi. Him gonna bring his hand out. And Deku's gonna turn and shake it. Zuka Midoriya. Harry Osborn. Osborn? Yes. And this will be my sister here. The man gonna bring out his hand. And he's going to gesture to Asui. And I know Chaco, she actually gonna bring her hand out. Her shaking onto Mr. Osborn, and then Asui Osborn's hand. And Deku, the moment he shook Asui's hand, he actually was a bit more surprised. She looked him in the eyes and had the expression of a businesswoman. She had that look that tells you that she's serious. And Deku, he was rather impressed. He's seen the look of crazy on their father, but both of them are so professional. So it's hard to explain, but this is definitely a welcome relief from that crazy bastard. Now, Deku, he actually at least tried to ask a few questions. And Asui, she actually was at least happy to talk to Deku. Deku, he at least asked them about exactly what they thought of Justin Hammer cheaping out on his products. And their actions are Harry and Asui, they somewhat laughed about it. Everyone knows that the man, he's not very good at what he does. Yes, he's high in tech and high in standards, but the moment he got at the top, he started making breaks, budget cuts, to try and keep his wealth where it was, around Tony Stark. However, there was a problem. The moment he did that, the company, it immediately started to tank. So, they pumped money into certain projects, but let other ones fall flat. Right on their face. Now, right now, Harry doesn't even get a comment on it. What happens with Justin Hammer's products are quite simple. He maximizes profits, but efficiency, he does not maximize anything there. In fact, that's at a minimum. And Deku, he doesn't even get a comment on it. Him, at least, gonna open his mouth, as the actress or Chaco, she brought up a recorder, asking if they can quote him on that. You can, yes. I'm going to stand by that. Now, Deku, he went to go turn and walk away. And right now, there actually was a few things happening. There was a few things going on. Gaming systems, New World tech, a flying car from Stark Industries. He just knows Tony Stark is showing off now. And that's it quite a bit. And there actually was Tony Stark. He even made an appearance here. He was definitely happy. And the moment he actually turned and saw Izuku walking around with a press badge around his neck, he had a funny idea. He wanted to walk up to the kid and greet him like he was an old friend. But the moment he realized that the kid might be in his public identity, he put on a bit more of the professional standards. And right now there actually was Asui, Deku, Ochako, and Harry. They were all walking around. And they were bumping into a few people. As there was Tony Stark, he actually came to walk over. Him asking, would they happen to be consultants for the Daily Bugle? Oh my god, Mr. Stark. Oh, Mr. Stark. It's a pleasure to meet you. Deku holding out his hand. And right now he does this good to try and make it shake to make him look a bit more nervous. And Tony is going to look down at Deku's hand. Him bringing it out. Pleasure to meet you, kid. It's concerning, though. I didn't know the Daily Bugle needed 2 reporters. It technically doesn't. I'm a reporter, he's a consultant. And, oh, have you met these two? Ashley Osborne and Harry Osborne, yes. I've done business with their father before. Unfortunately, though, Stark Industries has cut ties with them. And that was over the allegations years ago. But those allegations were proven true. Correct, yes. However, I did not wish to believe that they were. I see. Was Mr. Osborne a valued business partner? I wouldn't say that. I respected the man. However, the respect went up to a certain point. And with what he's done recently, I'd say respect is no longer given nor is it earned. I'd rather that man hate me and wear that with pride. I like that line. Thank you. So, Izuku, what do you think of our tech being the tech consultant? It's definitely the next step in the future. I'm just surprised. Why exactly is the Iron Man here? Is he here to protect the Expo? Actually, nothing like that. You see, right in front of you right now isn't actually Tony Stark. I happen to be an LMD, an android, life model decoy. The man bringing his hand up, and I just grab at his face. Him going to press down as there actually sort of lines to appear. And man's going to pull off a faceplate. And everyone, they do something look at Tony Stark. Ochako is going to turn and look at Deku. Her eyes widening, as Deku does have a bit of a look of shock on his face. And right now Tony does at least bring his face back up, pressing it back on and talking about it. He does apologize though. Technically he is using something to control this right now, and him bringing his hand up. And right now he is going to do a gesture with his hand. As their actions, or Deku does start to ask, "Is something wrong?" "No, no, you're fine. It's just this is fly in the room." "Jarvis." "Yes, sir." "Can you get rid of this thing?" Is he still talking to us? I don't think so. Sorry, sorry. Um, anyways, what was I talking about again? You were talking about this being where a loud sound is heard, followed by a scream, and Deku's spider sense is going to go off. Him turning his head. And right now he is at least going to turn and see the scorpion. Oh, come on. Now, Deku, he's a bit more surprised by that. And right now they're actually going to turn and grab onto a Choco. I'm going to turn back to see Harry and Asui are gone. Crap. They must have ran off in the commotion. Not good. Then on Deku's mind, his spider sense going off again, as off of a building does gonna land Venom. Him smashing down and skidding down the side of it. Him ripping apart the side of the building as he does come crashing down. Him going to turn and look around. Him bringing out his tongue and screaming out loud. And Deku's gonna stare on. Scorpion and Doc. No, 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 no. Okay, Scorpion and Venom. Why is they here though? Why are they Spider-Man? This moment Deku's gonna turn his head and see the superior octopus. His eyes widening. That's no way. 3 of them? No, no, no. Venom. This moment Deku's gonna look around. Him is gonna pull a Choco in a direction. As the LMD is gonna shut down, and someone they do go to eventually knock it over when they run past it in the chaos. And it is trampled. Now, right now Deku no Choco do go running. And the moment Deku is gonna get Ochako to safety, he is actually gonna turn back. Ochako is trying to ask him what the hell he's doing. And Deku is gonna turn, expressing to her, people are in danger. He's not gonna stand by and watch. I'm gonna turn and run back. And Ochako is gonna turn. As right now there actually is where a grenade is thrown into the crowd. It smashing onto the ground and exploding. And people are sent flying. As Deku, he actually sent flying into the air and smashing onto the ground. Him going to turn and actually going to try and get back up. Him looking around. No, no, how is he here? He's supposed to be in jail. Deku going to look up. And right now he's going to see somebody on a glider. However, it's not the Green Goblin. He goes to see... Who the hell is that? Now, the Hobgoblin does to call it out. They want Spider-Man! They know he's gotta be here. Come on now, big bad hero. This place is crawling with tech. They know he couldn't stay away. And Deku, he has to look around. Right now he has to go to turn and run. Him bolting into an alleyway and actually going to turn. Deku, he does go through the painstaking process of trying to get his suit on. Him pulling up his shirt, pulling down his pants, and going to take off his shoes. Him is going to pull his gloves out of a pocket on the inside of his pants, and then going to at least pull his mask from his bag. As Deku, he's going to put on the mask and go get ready. Him going to turn and climb up the wall. Now, as it does actually happen, Deku is trying to think. He has 4 villains he has to take care of. Okay, so Venom, Doc, Scorpion, and Hobgoblin. Who the hell is the Hobgoblin, though? Inspiration, Green Goblin, so... Glider, he studied the glider before. He knows exactly what it's capable of. So it's got to be similar, right? Okay, so... Assuming this is just a knockoff, it's going to be easy. Not challenging? Okay, so there's that. It's going to be okay, though, right? He can handle it. Doc Ock is on par with him, but the rest of them, he should be fine. Venom will be tricky, though. But high-tech stuff. Okay, so he can at least try and handle them in one of the electrical exhibits. A technological power source. He covered something about experimental power sources. The hammer robots. The battery lives in them. The components were faulty, but the batteries must still be good. He can rip those apart and get those. That's how you can handle Venom. Doc Ock, though, more physical of a threat, exactly like him, so he can deal with that. But Scorpion and Hobgoblin. Scorpion is physical, but yes, so can be taken down. And okay, so Hobgoblin, just a guy in a suit. I mean, a poorly made one. They're at the top of a building, and right now Deku, he is actually going to turn and look down, and he's going to shout out as he's going to blast at his webs. Him hitting the Hobgoblin when he actually brought his hand up to try and throw a grenade. And Deku, he struck him in the hand, sticking the grenade to it. As Goblin, he brought his hand up. Him going to bring it out and actually grab onto the glove. I'm actually going to pull it off and throw it. Now, Hobgoblin, he actually went to go bring his hand down, as he pulled back on the glider as the bomb exploded towards the ground, him being somewhat shaken by the explosive. Now, Deku, he looked around to see Venom, and Venom went to go scream out. As someone, they set off Deku's spider sense. And Deku, he actually did a leap forwards and turn, as there actually is Kraven the Hunter, who tried to take a swing at Deku. And Deku was quite alarmed. 5? Him going to bring his hand out. Him going to shoot out a web, as Kraven goes to throw out another knife. Him is going to throw it out and directly connect with Deku's web line. It smashing into the knife, as Deku he's also smashing down onto the ground. Him going to actually sit up, as there actually is where he does at least get surrounded by smoke. And he's a lot more alarmed, as someone they do come walking out of the crowd. Him turning his head to see Mysterio. And right now Mysterio is surrounded by monsters. And Deku's a bit more alarmed. Okay, so 6 of them. Not good. Right. So how can he handle this? How can he do this? How can he get through this? Right. Come on now, Spider-Man. Deku turning his head. And right now Doc Ock does inform him. He does need to know. The Sinister Six won't let him live. Not this time. They just want to take a piece. Though, studying his actual physiology, it would be helpful as well. He could come with them peacefully. Though, if he does do that, that would be a bit better. I mean, go with the original rather than a copy. Now there is an interesting idea right there. Then on Doc Ock's mind, actually taking over his body, becoming the Spider-Man, becoming superior. Now that does have a nice ring to it. And right now Deku, he actually does sit up. Him going to bring his hand up to his ear. And the moment he does do that, he is going to feel his spider sense go off. I'm going to roll out of the way as there actually is someone who they went rushing towards him. And Deku, he almost got struck by Venom's web line. Now, Deku, he was trying to do a lot. Right now, though, he was trying to call for backup. And Cindy, the moment she heard about how the Tech Expo was attacked, she tried to suit up. And there actually was Anya, who she also tried to suit up as well. And Deku, he was definitely trying to call in for reinforcements. I mean, he doesn't know where Jessica is, and she could be in New York, she could not be, and, any sort of backup right now would just be fucking fine and dandy. And Deku, here's a wait. As there is, where he's trying to dodge out of the way. Kraven the Hunter tried to attack him. And Deku, he was trying to go through his plans. In his head. He's surrounded by tech. And he has a very, very smart and intelligent mind. So, what can he do here? What can he say? I mean, pissing off Scorpion's easy. And so is Doc Ock. But Hobgoblin, Venom, and Kraven, those guys are more serious. And Mysterio. Mysterio is just illusions. He has to remember they're just illusions. I mean, yes, it can mess with your head and, well, okay. He's got to remember that. They're going to turn. And right now he does have the idea to handle Venom. Venom is the biggest threat here. Immune to his spider sense. And that is it quite a bit. Venom knows who he is. And he's worried about that. Venom, the host has the memories. And he remembers an encounter. He remembers the sewer. Venom tried to chase him. And knew exactly where he would be, what route he would take. and how he would escape. However, it didn't know anything about Frank Castle. If Deku picked a safe house, Venom would know it. Venom would find it. And Venom would attack it. And right now, Deku, he is actually a bit more annoyed, as he does trying to get to the Justin Hammer robots. Now, currently Deku, he does try to make his way through the expo, and people, they've already been evacuated. However, with the Sinister Six here, there's not much he can really do. And Deku, the moment he actually ran around a corner, there actually was Doc Ock, who, he was there waiting for Deku. And Deku, he actually was then ambushed by Kraven the Hunter. And Kraven, the moment Deku did go throw out his hands to attack him, the man was already ready. The man wanted to handle Izuku. And he's been made quite aware as to a few of his abilities. Specifically, his spider sense. He knows that can be definitely outdone. It can definitely be, well, harmed. Used against him? No, weaponized. His favorite word. Now, currently Kraven, he does try to get ready. Him going to turn and yell at the Hobgoblin. And the Hobgoblin, they do to throw out their hands. Them going to throw down tons and tons of pumpkin bombs. And Deku is going to stare on. As he does going to throw himself up into the air and send himself flying into the air. As there actually is Venom. Venom is going to throw out his hand. Him going to grab on the side of a building and begin to claw his way up. Him going into the air and leaping to get Deku. Him smashing into Deku and actually smash him down into a building. As Deku is going to bring out his hand, shooting out a taser web and hitting Venom. And Deku is going to throw out his hand. Him grabbing Doki into Venom and throwing him towards the ground. The two smashing down Doki onto a car. And Deku, the moment he does do that, he actually does bring his hand out, smashing his fist into Venom, as Venom does wrap around Deku's arm. Him begin to actually turn it, as Deku does turn and hear something go through the air. Him going to dodge out of the way of a knife that almost hit his face. And right now they're actually Mysterio. One of his illusions do come up from behind Deku, and actually is going to grab him. Deku alarmed. It feels a lot more real this time. And Deku's going to throw out his head, smashing it forwards and backwards against the illusion. As Deku, he does let Doki go into it and try to attack it. As Kraven, he does come in. And Doc Ock, he actually is trying to fire at Deku with his tendril. And none of the villains are getting in each other's way. And some of them are yelling back and forth at each other. And Deku can tell. None of them want to share this victory. None of them want the others to win. Deku, he has an idea now. And that does say quite a bit. Now, Deku just try to yell back and forth. Exactly what the hell is going on here then? I mean, what's happening? Venom too good to work alone to try and kill him? He couldn't do it before, so now he needs help? What about Kraven? Kraven's a hunter, right? Kraven obviously is a good hunter at what he does. That's why he's chosen Spider-Man? I mean, he wouldn't call himself the best well-suited prey, but he's up there, right? He's tangled with a Skrull that had the abilities of the Hulk. And he was able to take that guy on. He may not have been the actual Hulk, but hey, what happens after Kraven kills him? Who's he going after? Who's the next prey? And Kraven is going to smirk. He tells Deku, he will kill Spider-Man. Spider-Man is his to hunt. And this does not mean anything. Spider-Man, he will be his. He will have his head mounted on his wall. And Deku is going to think, well, that idea is shot. I'm actually going to bring up his hand and throw it out towards Kraven. As Deku does fire a web blast directly into Kraven's head. It's smashing into Kraven's face and beginning to tase him. Kraven bringing his hands up and grabbing at his head. As he actually back up, and Deku, he does actually at least turn over to Scorpion and yell at him. What's the guy freaking paying him? He's going after Spider-Man, but what about him? Money? Fame? And power? What's he getting? I mean, he's got to be getting ripped off, right? How much are the other guys being paid? And Scorpion is going to pause. That's a good question. I mean, the guy offered him, what, 200 grand, 300 grand? But Kraven's a hunter. And Mysterio always tries to rob banks. So, what exactly is he being paid? The guy needs money. He goes for millions. He always hits the big ones. He always tries at least, but he never succeeds. So getting his attention away from a bank job has definitely gotta cost a pretty penny. And right now Scorpion is at a turn. I shouldn't ask about all that. And Doc Ock does try to turn to him, trying to inform him about what Spider-Man is exactly doing. However, the moment he starts to think about it, he realizes exactly what Deku's doing. He's trying to stall. And right now Cindy, Moon, and Anya, they do come swinging in. As their actions were someone, they're gonna shoot out their webs and Doki smash it into Venom. And they actually come in. The two hitting Venom directly in his body and pulling the host directly towards the outside of the backside. Now, right now they do try to hold on to their host. And Venom does not like this. It already was not feeling well. It already felt sick. And right now having its host pulled from it will make it weak. It can't survive without them right now. And Deku, he does going to take the opportunity, pulling back his hand and ripping it free, as he's going to turn and rush looking at Mysterio. And Mysterio, yeah, a 6-on-1 definitely sounds like a guaranteed victory. But a 6-on-3? Yeah, he's not really liking those odds. Maybe that 500k he's being paid might not have been worth it. Now, right now Doc Ock, he's pissed. And that actually is Kraven. Whenever Kraven was able to get his attention back, there actually was Deku, who already rushed in and grabbed Druki and Mysterio. Him smashing Druki into his helmet and actually going to bring his hand out. Him grabbing onto his gauntlet and going to actually shoot a taser of Druki into it. The gauntlet freaking out as none of the illusions do to fade. And Deku's going to turn. Him going to actually punch Mysterio in the gut and send him flying backwards into the ground. Him smashing a wall as Deku's going to web him up. Now it's just 3-on-6. And Deku's going to turn. Kraven rushing at him with a knife. And Deku is going to get ready. However, we do actually have Silk and Anya, or Spider-Girl. The two are trying to handle Doc Ock and Venom, and this clearly is not good. The two can't really handle one or the other, and the fact that their spider sense isn't going off with Venom does say quite a bit. The moment one of them have their back turned to face Doc Ock, the other one attacks the other opponent. And Doc Ock and Venom, the two are trying to work well. They're actually cooperating. They share incentive. Revenge against Spider-Man. And that's enough, for both of them at least. And right now Deku, he is trying to at least get to work. Over Scorpion to sort of rush in to try and attack, Deku, he does get to rush in directly towards Scorpion. However, a bomb is thrown towards the ground. And Deku, he does get to look down at it. Him actually going to bring his hands out and going to rush forwards. Him grabbing at the bomb and turning. As Remy does throw it out as hard as he can, it does get flying 10 feet into the air. It's going to go off. And now the air just starts to shake. And someone they do to scream. And Deku, he doesn't actually turn and look around. No, there shouldn't be civilians here. And Deku does yell for them. Get out of here! Now! And people, they just start to run free from their hiding spots. And Deku, he realizes exactly his mistake. As a Scorpion, he does a turn. Him attempting to try and take a hostage. And right now the actions where Deku, he has to throw out his hand, webbing at Scorpion's stinger, and actually to hold on to him. Him holding the man back from grabbing somebody. And Kraven, he doesn't set off to take a spider sense. Deku gonna turn and hear him behind him. Kraven stabbing a knife directly down into Deku's shoulder. And Deku just screaming out in pain. Now, the moment Deku screamed, he was surprised. He felt his shoulder buckle a bit. And Kraven, he actually took that opportunity to twist the knife and actually grab at Deku. Him getting ready. A full-on kill like this. He could have walked up and sliced his goddamn throat. But that isn't fun. That's like stalking a wolf in camo. You can just plunge a knife into its heart and there would be no fight. That's not an equal opponent. He wants to best Spider-Man physically. Prove himself that way. He will be the ultimate hunter. And Kraven, he actually is going to get a backhand directly from Deku. And the moment Kraven doesn't actually feel that, he doesn't actually look at Deku surprised. As Deku, he actually does bring his hand out and pull onto the Scorpion. The suit he's in being pulled backwards and up into the air. As Deku actually slam it directly down onto the ground. Him going to turn at Kraven and bring his hand up, grabbing at the knife and going to pull it up and out. Him gonna drop it onto the ground as Craven, he does this one smile. Contract fulfilled. A sample. And Deku, here's a rush towards Craven, as Silk and Anya, or Spider-Girl, do continue their battles. Now, Hobgoblin, they're definitely trying to think about what to do. That was loud. Deku is trying to rush in. Him trying to handle both Craven and the Hobgoblin. Or, well, Craven and Scorpion, my bad. Now, right now Deku is trying to face both of them. He tries to dodge out of the way of Scorpion and attack Craven when he can. Him going to send out a left hook doki up into Craven's face. And see him moving backwards. Craven sliding backwards and actually going to grab onto something. Him looking at it for a second and going to turn back to Deku. Him going to rush forwards. And Scorpion, he actually tried to throw out his tail. Deku dodging out of the way of the stinger, actually to bring his hand up. Him going to grab onto it and hold onto it. As Scorpion, he actually got a bit angry. Him trying to pull the stinger back as Deku, he actually tried to swing Scorpion around. Him expressing, he hopes that he has a nice trip and send him a postcard. Him sending him flying through the air. And Scorpion, yeah. Right now, he just got sent over, let's say somewhere around 1,000 feet. Is it good enough? Yeah, 1,000 feet maybe. That's a little, I'm just going to say that's less than generous. Now, right now Deku, he sends Scorpion 1,000 feet up and flying directly down in one area. And right now, there actually is Craven. Craven is impressed. The spider holds back, and that gets his blood pumping. Him rushing forwards. And Deku does get a rush in. Him and Craven colliding as the two smash their fists together. And Deku, he actually is going to stare at what's behind Craven. Him getting a bit of an idea. And there currently is where Deku, he has this in Craven flying backwards into the car. Him going to actually shoot out his webs and throw as many grenades as he can. And Craven is covered in them. Now, Craven is going to fight back. And Deku, he actually is going to try and press out a bit more about his web grenades. Him finding that the cartridges are all empty. Him going to bring his hands down and reload them. However, shit, organic webbing it is. I'm actually going to look up at Craven. And Craven is going to scream out about it. No! He should have been able to best him! He should have been able to! Deku's shooting out a web. And Craven does his mouth web shut. And Deku is going to talk about it. You know, if he doesn't have anything good to add to the conversation, he really just shouldn't talk. And Craven does stare at Deku with a glare. And Deku, he has his own smile. As they're actually going to turn back directly to Hobgoblin. And the Goblin, they are a little less than annoyed. Or they're a little less than happy. Now, the Hobgoblin, they do try to at least attack Deku. And they try to do what they can. Sending out smoke grenades and bombs. And Deku, he does he's going to avoid the gas. As we do actually cut back to Cindy and Spider-Girl. The two went to go dodge out of the way. Cindy was moving out of the way and trying to be careful. Be sure to avoid it. She avoided the octopus tendrils. And whenever one actually tried to grab onto her, she was surprised to find that they're strong. However, she was able to fight back. It took great effort, but she was able to do something. And there actually was even Anya. Anya, whenever she was trying to handle Venom, this guy was a monster. However, Venom is slowing down. Venom's getting weaker and weaker. And the longer this fight does go on, the more she can tell. She even tried to use her taser webs. And then when she did actually go to use all of them, she was surprised. Venom was still fighting, but fatigue, effort, what the hell is wrong with that thing? And it actually somewhat concerned her. Is the host sick? Like, actually physically sick? I mean, she doesn't want to kill the guy, but if this goes on for much longer, she doesn't know how much they'll last. And that definitely was a concern of hers. And we do actually cut to Deku, who, he actually was able to go up into the air and grab onto the Hobgoblin. The Hobgoblin trying to fight Spider-Man with their own superior strength. Now, Deku was surprised to find that the Goblin was an equal match, just like the Green Goblin. And that set up a lot of red flags for Deku. Anyways, now, Deku, him and the Goblin were currently on the glider, them both wildly spinning in the air as Deku, he threw the Goblin off. And the goblin, they brought out their hand to try and reach out for Spider-Man. And Spider-Man, he shot out a web to grab them. However, Deku, he actually pulled his hand in hard, him clocking him across the face, and right now going to actually bury them into the ground whenever he does get to jump forwards, off of the glider. Him smashing the goblin down and getting a bit more angry. Deku shows a bit more of his aggression, and right now he's going to pull back his fist and smash into the goblin's head. Him punching over and over and over. And right now Deku, after about 2 or 3 blows, the goblin, he stopped trying to fight back. And Deku, he went to go stand up. Him going to bring out his hand and shoot out a web. And Deku went to go turn back. As right now, there actually is Scorpion, Venom, and, well, Doc Ock to handle. And that does mean quite a lot. And Deku, he actually went to go enact his plan. The Scorpion returned to the battlefield, and he actually tried to help deal with Cindy Moon. Cindy was definitely a big threat. And Venom slowing down? Yeah, he's not going to touch Venom or get close to that guy. He fucking scares him. And that means quite a lot, especially for the host and the symbiote itself. As Deku, he actually went to the Hammer robots. He went in and tried to analyze them for a second. Him going to remember the map he saw about their power core. Him bringing his hand out, smashing directly into it, and actually reach his hand in, finding something and pulling it down and then out. He finds a battery, and then he's going to turn, pulling out 2 more batteries as he's going to web them together. And then he actually going to grab at some of the wires, him wiring them together and going to at least keep the conduits open. He connects all the lines together, and the energy that they start to produce, it does say quite a lot. And Deku, he brought his hands up and started to web out the bottoms of them. And he used them to grab those spots. As there actually is Venom. Venom was getting the upper hand on Spider-Girl, and she was definitely beginning to see a lot more of a difference. Venom has creativity. A fist right now being thrown directly out from Venom's chin. It smashing down into Anya's face. As right now there is actually the torso, where the spider insignia, it is actually going to have a massive amount of it shoot out directly onto her, wrapping onto her, and then going to actually try and cover her face, covering her mouth and nose, trying to suffocate her. And Venom, he was definitely a bit more annoyed. He wants to feed. His hunger grows. His feelings of hunger. Spider-Man. That on his mind. And Venom was becoming a bit more feral, animalistic. Before Deku, he gave him a bit of a reality check, zapping him in the back with the 3 batteries. And Venom went to scream out in pain. As the host, he actually came falling onto the ground. Right now, him breathing heavily, and trying to at least recover from the massive voltage that was just pumped into him. And Deku, he actually saw Venom lie out on the ground defeated. As the host, they somewhat laid there, and Deku would go actually turn over the blonde man. No way. What's going on? Do you know him? A scream being heard. As right now Cindy, she was actually stabbed by the Scorpion, and the stinger, it injected her with poison. And Deku went to go turn back. As Deku and Spider-Girl, they rushed back in. And Venom definitely wasn't having a very good day. Something was off. And right now Deku, him and Cindy, or him and Spider-Girl, do rush back in directly towards the two. And Deku just tried to handle Doc Ock. As right now Anya, she actually shot out directly at the Scorpion, pulling him out and away from Cindy. As Deku rushed and actually grabbed up towards Doc Ock, smashing Doki into his chest and actually picking him up into the air. And the moment he went directly for Doc Ock, Ock knew that this clone had the timer go down. The moment he brought out his fist and smashed Deku across the face. And right now Doc Ock is going to do it over and over again, wrapping the tendrils directly around both of the two, and beginning to squeeze down. 8 tendrils, all capable of exerting 5 tons of force, if not closer to 7 or 8. Now, let's do the math there. 8 times 4 is 40, 8 times 8 is 64, so that's 64 tons of force if you want to be generous, and give it that estimation. Now, Deku is currently being squeezed down, and he's actually trying to fight back against it. And there actually is Cindy. Cindy, she brought her hand out. her actually going to jump directly through the air and spin. Her going to actually bring out her hand and smash it directly into Doc Ock's device. As the tendrils, they all begin to fail. And Deku, he actually somewhat fell down to the ground. Him gasping for air as Doc Ock, he actually brought his hand out, smashed it directly up into Deku's face. And Deku, he actually got sent flying down into the ground. Him being smashed into it and trying to recover. Him trying to get back up, as there actually was Anya and Cindy. The two, they quickly were able to try and handle the scorpion. Disable the suit, and he's done. They went for the base of the tail, and then, when they were able to get that thing off, they worked their way up from the back. Eventually, they were able to pull him out of that suit, and the man, he was arrested. And Doc Ock, yeah, Doc Ock got away, and Deku was quite annoyed by that. The man ran, and the moment Deku he saw that he left behind the octopus technology, he was annoyed. However, he just simply brought his hands down and grabbed onto it. I'm going to flip it over. As Deku's spider sense would go off, him actually going to turn and chuck it up high into the air. And everyone they went to go watch Deku. The thing gets in flying, as it is going to explode and shake the area. And Deku brought his hands up, him at least trying to block and defend himself. And right now there actually was the fact that Deku, he looked around. The place is destroyed. It's been left in, well, despair. And many of the villains here. Okay, that's good. They at least got 5 of... Deku turning his head. And the Hobgoblin is gone. 4 of them. Damn. That definitely took a lot out of him. Are you okay? Cindy gonna walk over. And Deku, he is gonna turn to her. Yeah, I'm fine. Ah, my shoulder. Oh, my back. Ah, my back. That definitely hurts. I think I got internal bleeding too. Oh yeah, no, that something's definitely punctured. Okay, we need to get you to shield. Now. Right now someone coming to run up. Deku's gonna turn his head. Ochako gonna throw out her hand and ask for at least something to talk about. Who are they? Are they members of the Spider Society, organization, whatever? Are they shield agents or what's going on exactly? She wants to know. I mean, please, tell her everything they can. And right now Deku, he brought his hand out. Him going to grab onto her microphone. And he's expressing. They're Spider-Man, Silk, and Spider-Girl. Listen, they know that Jameson likes to give him a bad rap, but at least trying to tell the truth, they took down the villains. And 2 of them got away, but no one got seriously hurt. Oh, besides them. Deku trying to stretch. I don't know how Chaka does to see it. He goes to actually bring his hand up and grab at and someone adjust the wound on his arm. And she does just stare at that. As she actually somewhat stared down at Spider-Man's hand. Her at least gonna ask if he's gonna be alright. Yeah. I'll be fine. I've been through a lot worse. You've been through worse than that? You were attacked by 6 different villains. And these 2 didn't come out for backup until just a few minutes ago. Yeah, trust me. We've all been through worse. It's really that was really nothing. The life of a hero must be crazy. Trust me, you have no idea. So gonna turn, expressing, come on, Spider-Man. Him gonna turn. And then he's actually throw out his hand and swing away. However, Deku, he does still at least try to adjust his back. And there actually is when they do go to shield. Deku, he is analyzed and he does found that he does have some broken ribs. However, there's not really much they can do. Sadly there's no punctures, but there's a little bit of internal bleeding that should sort itself out. I mean, his healing factor should take care of it like it's done before. So he'll be okay. Yeah, they can try and give him something to dull the pain, but it's going to be some pretty strong stuff, and it's going to lay him out pretty damn well. And Deku, he does understand. As he has to swing back to his apartment, and the news, they try to report on it. The Sinister 6 attacks the expose. And Deku, he actually at least going to read a few things. Him laying on the couch right now with an ice pack to his ribs, laying on a freaking ton of them on his back, and right now sitting there with a bit of a high from the painkillers. And Deku's gonna lay there, him with his head turned, as Ochako should just come on TV. Her voice, at least, as she's gonna hold out a recording device, talking about it. So, what exactly can she get quoted on, or what exactly can they tell her about any of them? And the actions of Deku, he at least talked about it. They were the good guys, not the bad guys. And the story went to play as it did earlier. And Deku, he somewhat smiled. Ochako is a good reporter, someone he can actually trust. I mean, she's a good friend, and that does say quite a bit. However, Deku, there actually is where a few things happen. It actually is going to cut over to Harry and Ozzy Osbourne, and exactly what happened at the expose. I mean, security wasn't prepared for supervillains, and they even went to go talk about it. The expose was saved by Spider-Man. They do want to thank the hero, and they do appreciate what he did. They even do appreciate that minimal damage was done to tons of the equipment here. Yes, well, the webs and, well, certain products were damaged. Ultimately, they helped take down the threats in the end. And Justin Hammer, he even gave a comment over the phone, since he doesn't have the balls to be here in person. Now, yeah, I just really hate Hammer. He's a knockoff Tony Stark, and it's so apparent. Anyways, now, Deku, he does have a watch on, as right now, there actually is over with Harry Osborn. Harry is definitely annoyed, and none of he just won't sit there. Him and his father study. He has a lot going through his head. The plan didn't go as planned. It definitely did not work. Spider-Man, he succeeded. He has allies that come for backup. That's good to know. However, they wish to catch him alone. Divide and conquer. The Sinister Six. A nice ring to it. But then again, he'd rather work as a duo. A pair? I mean, him and his sister. They have much to make up for. The sins of the father have fallen on the children. And, well, Harry might be the true son, the true heir, Asui, she is a Osborn, especially at heart. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part. And this one was both fun and a bit annoying to record, because there was a ton of fireworks in the background, and I'm fairly certain you guys have heard some. I hope it's been minimal. Anyway, guys, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and happy 4th of July.